Hi children, this is Teacher Julie and today we will do 2018 SA2 Paper 2 for Raffles Girls Primary School. So come on in. Question 1. The figure is made up of a square, PQRS, and a rhombus, RTSU. Find angle QRU. So let us understand this figure. We know that for squares, all their corners are 90 degrees because of right angle. We also know that for rhombus, their four sides are equal. So with this information, we will try to solve the question. We need to mark out the angle that we need to find. So angle QRU is actually at here, QRU. So let's mark it up. So this is the angle that we need to find. And if this is 90 degrees, and when we have found this angle, we can just use the pink angle, which is 90 degrees, and minus this orange section, and we will be able to find the angle that the question wants. So let's use the property of isosceles triangle and angle sum of triangle to find this angle. Angle SRU is equal to 180 degrees minus 66 degrees divided by 2, because these two angles are the same. So this is equal to 57 degrees. So we can write this here. I advise you, whenever you touch any angle figure, please use your pencil and do not use pen, because once it's messed up, it's very difficult to see. So let's try to find this angle now, which will be angle QRU, and it's equal to 90 degrees minus 57 degrees, and our answer is 33 degrees. So let's recap what we have learned for this question. We learned to use the property of a square where all four corners are 90 degrees because they are right angles. We also learned about the property of a rhombus where all four sides are equal. And because all four sides are equal, there are two isosceles triangles. In this figure, 1, 2. And these two angles here is actually also the same as these two angles here. We also learned about angle sum of triangle, where we use 180 degrees to minus 66 degrees and divide it by 2, because the based angles of an isosceles triangles are equal. Question 2. The ratio of the number of pencil to the number of eraser in a box was 3:4. At first, after adding 12 pencils and removing 15 eraser from the box, the ratio of the number of pencil to the number of erasers became 1:1. How many erasers were there in the box at the end? To solve this question, it is good to draw a table. So we have pencil and eraser. At first, the ratio is 3:4. And after adding 12 pencils and removing 15 eraser, the ratio now becomes 1:1. Notice that 1:1 means that they are equal in numbers. So if we assign units to this is 3 units and this will be 4 units. What will happen is this become 3 units plus 12 and this become 4 units minus 15 and they are actually equal. So let's try to find 1 unit here. The easiest way is to put the bigger unit on the left side, 4 units minus 15, which is equal to 3 units plus 12. So to get rid of this 3 units here, we have to minus 3 units, and here minus 3 units. And here to get rid of this number minus 15, we have to plus 15. And here we have to plus 15. So now it becomes 1 unit. It's equal to 27. And to find the number of erasers in the box at the end, we need to find the answers from here. So number of erasers in the end is equal to 4 units minus 15, which is equals to 4 times 27 minus 15, and we will get 93. Let's recap what we have learned. We have learned that this is a ratio question and we have to change ratio into unit. We can see the usefulness of a unit table. And we also can see that for each column, there has been some changes, so this is also an all change question. And we try to solve the question because the question tells us that this is equal, so this is equal stage. After, and finally, we have created a unit equation to solve this question. Question 3. Figure A is a square with side 5 cm. When the side of the square is increased by 1 cm, what is the percentage increase in the area of the new square? To do this question, we have to understand about finding percentage change. To find percentage change, and in this case it is percentage increase, it is equal to the change, which is the increase, divided by the original area multiplied by 100%. So let's find the original area. So area of figure A is equal to length, which is 5 cm, times breadth, and in this case it's 5 cm because it's a square. So 5 times 5 is 25. When the side is increased by 1 cm, it will change to become slightly bigger. And so instead of 5 cm now, the new length will be 5 plus 1, which is 6. So area of new figure A, the increased version, is equal to 6 times 6, and it will be 36 cm squared, and cm squared here as well. So what is the change in the area? The increase will be equal to 36 minus 25, which is equal to 11 cm squared. So let's apply the formula here. This will be 11, and the original area is actually equals to 25. And we have to multiply it by 100%. So 11 over 25 multiplied by 100% is equal to 44%. And this is our answers. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about percentage change in area of the square. And the important thing is to remember it's change over original area, not new area. Question 4. A muffin cost K dollars and a sandwich cost 40 cents more than a muffin. Mavis has enough money to buy 2 sandwiches and 1 muffin. If Mavis has $5.30, find the cost of 1 sandwich. So we can see that this is a more than and less than information. So if you are unclear, it's always good to draw a model. So we have a muffin, and this is K dollars, and therefore the sandwich is more, so it will be longer. So it will be K dollars plus 40 cents. So since Mavis has enough money to buy 2 sandwiches, so it will be another sandwich here with another K and 0.4. And this is equivalent to $5.30. So we can see that we can create an equation which is 3K, 1, 2, 3, plus 0.4 plus 0.4 is 0.8. It's equal to 5.3, and therefore 3K is equal to 5.3 minus 0.8, which is equal to 4.5, and K is equal to 4.5 divided by 3, and it is 1 0.5. So to find the cost of one sandwich, it will be K plus 0.4, and this is equal to 1.5 plus 0.4, and our answer will be 1.9. So our answer here will be $1.90. Let's recap what we have learned. We have learned that this is an algebra question, and we use algebra in one variable. We also learned to solve for one letter from 3K to 1K, and this is actually finding one unit of something, and so it's unit method. Question 5. Sharon had 5 kg of sugar. She packed the sugar into packets of 2/3 kg. How much sugar did she have left? So to understand this question, 5 kg is actually all here. And it is made up of many 2/3 kg. So please make sure that you know this is actually a quantity fraction. And not a fraction of a whole. So to find how much sugar is left, we have to first find how many packets of 2/3 kg can Sharon packed. So we have to use number of packets it's equal to 5 divided by 2/3, which is equals to 5 multiplied by 3/2, and we will get 15/2, and this will be 7.5 packets. Some students will think that since there should be 7 packets, so the half is the answer. But it's not, because this half is packet, not the mass of the sugar. So what it means is, if this is 1 packet, so here, for this last 2/3 kg, it is only able to fill up half of it. So this is the leftover part of the sugar. So how do we find half of 2/3? So it will be mass of sugar left, it's equal to half multiplied by 2/3, which is equal to 1/3 kg. Let's recap what we have learned. So we learned about 2/3 kg, which means fraction with units, and this is the unit. We also learned about fraction, division, and here we learn about fraction, multiplication. And we also learn the importance of telling apart the difference between packets and mass. Question 6. Special offer, 1 cheese tart, $1.40. Buy 3, get 1 free. A. Tony wants to get 4 cheese tarts. How much does he need to pay? B. Sophia has $83. What is the most number of cheese tarts that she can get altogether? Let's try to solve A first. So Tony wants to get 4 cheese tarts. So what happens is cheese tart, cheese tart, cheese tart, and 1 will be free. So we don't have to buy this, we just have to buy for 3 cheese tart. So to amount, Tony needs to pay is equal to 3 multiplied by 140, and we will get $4.20. Now let's try to do B. So for B, Sonia has $83 and she wants to buy as many cheese tarts as she can. So we know that for every set of 4 cheese tarts, she will need to pay $4.20. So she will definitely try to use up as many sets as possible so that she can get as many free cheese tarts as possible. So how many sets of 420 can we get from $83? So number of sets of 420, it's equal to 83 divided by 420, which is equal to 19. If you use your calculator, it will be 19 point something, right? So the tricky part is how do we find the remainder here? Because we cannot put point something here because we can't see the leftover money after buying 19 sets. So the trick is find out how much is 19 sets. Okay, which is equal to $79.80. So we just have to use $83 to minus $79.80, which is equals to $3.20. So here it will be actually 3.20. So Sonia managed to get 19 sets of 4 cheese tarts and she's still left with $3.20. So can she still buy more cheese tarts? And the answer is yes, because $3.20 divided by 140 is actually 2, and with a remainder of 40 cents. So the total number of cheese tarts that Sonia can buy is actually 19 sets here, which will be 19 multiplied by 4, because buy 3 get 1 free, plus the 2 that she can buy with the leftover $3.20, where she cannot get free cheese tart because it is not 3 cheese tart to get 1 free. So we plus a 2 and it will be 78 cheese tarts. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about sets because we need to add 3 plus 1 to form 1 set. We also learned about finding out what is the most, which means it is minimum and maximum. Of course, we learn about decimal division because we needed to find out for 19 sets and the remainder, how do we actually get the dollar value of the remainder instead of relying on the calculator to find 19 point something. Question 7. Jason bought some pencils for his classmates. He paid $7.20 for the pencils. If he gave everyone 5 pencils each, he would have 3 pencils left. If he gave everyone 6 pencils each, he would need 6 more pencils. A. How many classmates did Jason have? B. What was the cost of 1 pencil? So, if you read this question carefully, you can see that there is one if here and another if here. So it's a double if question. And what is one main key assumption here that didn't change? It is the number of classmates. This is actually a fixed number. So since this is a fixed number, why don't we let the number of classmates be u? So if he gave everyone, which means you, 5 pencils each, 5 pencils multiplied by the number of classmates will be 5u. He would have 3 pencils left. So 5u plus 3 is the total number of pencils. It's equal to, if he gave everyone 6 pencils, everyone means you. So 6 pencils each means 6 multiplied by u to give up all the pencils. But he needs 6 more. That means he doesn't have enough. And you need to minus a 6 here. And since the left side of the equation is the number of pencil and the equations on the right is also the number of pencils, so we can see that it is equal. And you can also see that what we are doing here is actually called unit equations, where we create statement that is equal with u inside so that we can solve one unit. So 6 unit minus 6 is equal to 5 unit plus 3. I shift the 6 unit minus 6 here because it's easier to manage for most children. So here we are going to minus 5 unit, and here we also minus 5 unit. Here we will plus 6 so that we get rid of the 6, and here we will also plus 6. Therefore, 1 unit is equal to 9. This is a very important piece of information that we need to use all the time. So right now, since we have found out what is 1 unit is actually the number of classmates. So how many classmates did Jason have? It's 9. So let's find the cost of 1 pencil. To find the total number of pencils, it will be 5 unit plus 3, which is equal to 5 times 9 plus 3, which is equals to 48. So there are 48 pencils. And to find out the cost of 1 pencil, we understand that 48 pencils, it's equivalent to $7.20, which is 720 cents. So 1 pencil will be 720 divided by 48. And we will get 15. So 1 pencil is 15 cents. And you can also say that 1 pencil is $0.15. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about using double if to solve our questions. We also learned to create unit equations by making the number of classmates 1U. We also learned to find out from 48 pencil, how are we going to get 1 pencil, which is we do a division here. So this is a unit method. We also learned the importance of finding 1 unit. Question 8. Grace formed the shape using a piece of wire. The shape is made up of 3 semicircles, 1 quadrant, and 2 straight lines. What is the length of wire used to form the shape? Take pi equals to 3.14. In order to find the length of the wire, we need to know the formula of circumference, which is equal to 2 pi r for the full circle. So it is good to know how to find the radius of every single semicircles and quadrant. So if we look at here, we can see that this forms a semicircle, and here this forms another semicircle, and here this forms another semicircle. And this is a quadrant. And finally, the 2 straight line is at here and here. To find the circumference of this small semicircle, we have to find out how to find the length of 1 square grid. So this is 16 to 4. So 4 length is equivalent to 16 cm. So 1 length of the square grid is equal to 16 divided by 4, which is equals to 4. So here we can see that the radius is actually 4. And here the radius is actually 8. Here, for this huge one, we can see that the radius is actually from here to here, and it is actually 16. And finally, for this quadrant here, the radius is actually equals to 12, because 4 times 3 is 12. Now that we have found the radius, we can start to solve our question. So to find the length of this yellow one, it will be 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 8. And we have to remember to divide this by 2 because it is a semicircle. And then we have to plus the next one, which is this one, it will be 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 4. And we still have to divide it by 2. Now let's try to find the large semicircle over here, which is 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 16 divided it by 2, plus the quadrant over here, which is 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 12 divided it by, this time it's not 2 anymore, it's a quadrant, so it is a 4, plus the 2 grid line here, which is actually 4 and 4, which makes up 8. So we will get 114.76 cm. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about the importance of circumference and also the difference between a semicircle and a quarter circle, or you can call it a quadrant. We also learned how to read the grid square so that we can find the length of one grid square. For this grid square question, do remember not to use a pen, and it's better to use a pencil to draw on the figure. Question 9. In the figure, WXZ is an isosceles triangle where WX is equal to WZ and WX is perpendicular to XY. Find angle YWZ. So to solve this question, we have to mark up the information. So this isosceles triangle is actually at here. So what it means is, since this is an isosceles triangle, the base angle is the same. So this will be 54 degrees. And so WX is perpendicular to XY. So this is 90 degrees. So let's mark out the angle that the question asks us to find, which is actually at YWZ. So YWZ is actually at here. So this is the angle that we need to establish. Notice that with this triangle here, we can actually find this angle here. And once we find this angle here, we can use angle sum of triangle to minus 54, 54, and this angle here to find this final angle here. So this is what we will do. Let's try to find angle XWY is equal to 180 degrees minus 44 degrees minus 90 degrees, which is equal to 46 degrees because of angles sum of triangle. So this is 46 degrees. So to find angle YWZ it is equals to 180 degree minus 54 degree minus 54 degree minus 46 degree, which is equal to 26 degree here, because of angle sum of triangle. Let's recap what we have learned. We have learned how to use the property of isosceles triangle to find the degree here, because the base angle of an isosceles triangle is the same. We learned to use angles sum of triangle to find the angle here from this triangle and the angle here from this triangle. Question 10. At a community center, there were 3 cooking classes A, B, and C. There were 6 more men in class B than class C, and 6 fewer men in class B than class A. The ratio of the number of men to the number of women in class A, B, and C were 1:2, 1:3, and 1:5, respectively. All the 3 classes had the same number of participants. How many men were there altogether? To do this question, we have to come up with the unit table so that we can analyze it better. So, we will have A, B, and C. So, for each class, we will have men, women, and total. We need the total because all the 3 classes had the same number of participants. So it means they have the same total. So this is 1:2. So we will write here 1:2, and the total is 3. And for class B, it is 1:3. So men, women, and total, it will be 1:3:4. And for class C, it is 1:5. So men, women, and total is actually 1:5:6. Since they have the same total, we need to find the lowest common multiple, which will be 12. If you do not know how to find lowest common multiple, you can list them: 3, 6, 9, 12, 4, 8, 12, 6, 12. So we can see that the lowest common multiple of this 3 number is 12. So we have to think about now, how do we make 3 to become 12, which is times 4. So all this light blue number, we will times 4. All this green number, we will times 3. And all this orange number, we will times 2. And now we will get, so the number of men in class A is 4U. The number of women in class A is 8U. The number of participants in class A is 12U. And The number of men in class B is 3U. Number of women in class B is 9U. Total is 12U again. Number of men in class C is 2U. Number of women in class C is 10U. And the total is 12 unit again. So notice that their total in each class is the same. So let's look at the next clue that we can use, which is there were 6 more men in class B than class C. So for class B, the number of men is 3U. For class C, the number of men is 2U. So the difference will be 3U minus 2U, which is 1U. And 1U is equivalent to 6. Notice that if you choose the other information, which is comparing the men in class B than A, so the man in class B is 3 unit and the man in class A is 4 unit. 4 unit minus 3 unit is still 1 unit, and it is 6 too. So whether you use the purple information or the blue information, 1 unit is still 6. So let's find out how many men were there altogether. And it is 4U plus 3U plus 2U. And it will be 9 unit, which is equals to 9 times 6, because 1 unit is equals to 6. And the answer is actually 54. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned the usefulness of coming up with a unit table so that we can understand the information clearly. We learned the importance of the concept of equal or same, because it enables us to use LCM to make the total the same. Then we use unit manipulation, where we multiply each set of racial numbers by a different number so that we can convert all of them to units of the same size. Finally, we make use of more than or less than so that we can find our 1 unit. Question 11. At first, the rectangular tank was partially filled with water. Mandy turned on 2 taps, A and B. After 10 minutes, the volume of water was 4/5 of the volume of the tank. She then turned off tap A and left tap B flowing until the tank was completely filled. The graph shows the amount of water in the tank. A. What was the volume of the rectangular tank? B. How many liters of water flow from tank A every minute? So let's look at this line graph, and we can see that at 10-minute point, the gradient of the line has changed from here to here. So there is a change in the gradient of the line. That is because at here, this is tab A and B. And here, this is only tab B. So in order to find the volume of the tank, we can see that at 10 minutes, the volume of the water was 4/5 the volume of the tank. And the volume of the water here is actually 80 liters. So this is equivalent to 80 liters. So if 4 unit, because the numerator belongs to the front and the denominator belongs to the back, so if 4 unit is equals to 80 liters, then 1 unit is actually 80 divided by 4, which is 20 liters, and the full tank is actually 5 units. So 5 unit is equals to 5 times 20, which is equals to 100 liters, and this is our answer for part A. For part B, how many liters of water flow from tap A every minute? In order to separate the liters that is contributed by tap A and tap B, we have to look at the comparison between A and B versus B. So this portion is contributed only by tap B, and it is actually 4 minutes, because 14 minus 10 is 4 minutes. And tap B has contributed a total of 20 liters, because 100 minus 80 is actually 20 liters. So for tap B, 4 minutes will contribute 20 liters, and therefore 1 minute will contribute 20 divided by 5 divided by 4, which is actually 5 liters. So to compare it with from 0 to 10 minutes, let's see the water that has been contributed to this level here. So this is 80 and this is 10. So 80 minus 10 is actually 70 liters. Please do not include from 0 to 10, because it means that at point 0 there was already some water, which is 10 liters in the tank, and it is not contributed by tap A or B. So for tap A and B, in 10 minutes it contributed 70 liters, and therefore in 1 minute it contributed 70 divided by 10, which is 7 liters. So what is the liters of water that flow from tap A every minute? Since this 7 is contributed by tap A and B, and we know B is 5 liters, therefore tap A in 1 minute will contribute 7 minus 5, which is 2 liters. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about how to read a line graph. We learned also to read the gradient of the line graph to assess the speed of the water flow. We learned about fraction to units, where 4 belong to the volume of water and 5 to the volume of the tank. We learned to find 1 unit here, and also 1 minute here, and also 1 minute here. So this is unit method. where we find one of something. We also learned to see that there are two tabs, A and B. So this is rate with more than one object. And this is definitely about filling tank. Question 12. The empty container is made up of two cuboids and a cube. The top of the container is a cube. Water flow into the container from the top to the base at 1.6 liters per minute. What is the height of the water level from the base of the container after 8 minutes? So to do this question, it is just not a standard tank that the question is giving us. They are actually stacking three different shapes on top of each other. So we have to be very aware of that. So first, let's find out how many liters of water or milliliters will go into the tank first. So 1 liter is equivalent to 1000 ml. So 1.619 liters is actually equals to 1.619 times 1000, which is 1619 ml per minute. So to do it for 8 minutes, it will be 8 multiplied by 1619, and we will get 12952 milliliters. So 12952 milliliters will actually flow into the tank. Let's see how much will this cuboid collect from the water. To do so, we need to find the volume of this cuboid. It will be volume of bottom cuboid, which is equal to 40, which is the length, multiplied by 20, which is the breadth, and multiplied by 8, which is the height. And it will be 6,400 cm cube. So we know that this tank is filled to the brim because the volume is far more at 12952. So our next task is to find out how much will this cuboid collect. So to find that, it will be volume of the middle cuboid which is equal to 36 times 18 times 9. Which is equal to 5832 cm cube. So we know that there is some more water that comes down from the tap to fill up this cube because this is already filled up and this is also filled up, but this will not be filled up to the brim. And we have to find out how much water is at this position. So let's find out. It will be the total volume minus the volume of the bottom cuboid and the middle cuboid. So volume of water in the top cube is equal to 12952 minus 6400 minus 5832, which is equal to 720 cm cube. So we know that the water here is 720 cm cube. So how do we find the height here? Let's go back to the volume of a cube. The volume of a cube is actually equals to length times length times length. And for this cube, it will be equal to 12 times 12 times 12. But we are not interested to find the volume of the cube because there is the height that we want to find, which means that instead of finding the volume of the cube, we are looking at the volume of the water in the cube. So notice that this one here, the length times the length is actually the base area of the cube. To find the height of the cube here, it will be equals to the volume divided by the base area, which is equal to 720 divided by 12 times 12. And our answer will be equal to 5 cm. So the height of the water here is 5 cm. To find the total height of the water, it will be 5 plus 9 plus 8. So the height of the water level is equal to 8 plus 9 plus 5, which is equal to 22 cm. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about the volume of cube and also the volume of cuboid. We also use the formula where we use base area times height so that we can find the height of the water in the cube. Question 13. The figure is made up of 4 circles and 1 square. A. Find the perimeter of the unshaded part. B. Find the area of the shaded figure. So let's try to find A. The important thing to take note of to find the perimeter of the unshaded part is to know that this is unshaded and do not make a careless mistake by finding the perimeter of the shaded part. So the unshaded part is actually at here. So we can see that the curved line here is equivalent to the quarter circle here, and the curved line here is also equivalent to the quarter circle here. So we have to find the circumference of one circle and also the other circle, which is an identical circle. To find perimeter of the unshaded part, we need the circumference, and the formula for circumference is actually pi d. D is 16 cm. So, since there are 2 circles, the parameter of the unshaded figure is actually equals to 2 multiplied by pi d, which is equals to 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 16, which is equal to 100.48 cm. To find the area of the shaded figure, we can see that this semicircle will form one circle, and this semicircle will form another circle. And how are we going to find this 4 segment? In order to do that, you must understand that this part is actually equivalent to the square minus the quadrant. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So area of the 4 semicircle, it's equal to 2 circle, which is equals to 2 multiplied by pi r square, and 2 multiplied by pi, which is 3.14, multiplied by the radius. 16 is the diameter, so radius will be 8 times 8, which is equal to 401.92 cm squared. To find the 8 boomerang, we have to do area of 8 boomerang is equal to the square, which is actually 8 by 8, minus the quadrant here, which is 1/4 multiplied by pi, which is 3.14, multiplied by the radius, which is 8 times 8, and we have to multiply this by 8, which is equal to 110.08 cm squared. So the shaded area is equal to 401.92 plus 110.08. And it will be 512 cm squared. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about circles and square. We also learned how semicircle, 2 of them, to make one circle. We also learned about quarter circle, which is quadrant. And we learned how, when we use a square to minus a quadrant, we will get the boomerang, which look like this. Question 14. In the figure, YZ is a straight line, while ABCD and PQRS are overlapping trapezium. Given that angle YAB is equals to 50 degree, angle QDW is equals to 135 degree, and angle DQR is equals to 60 degree, A. Find angle DXS. B. Find angle QRW. So let's try to understand this so that we can find our angles. The point to note is that for a trapezium, it has a pair of parallel lines, and very often we may need to use the property of this parallel line to give us clue to finding the next part of the solution. So let us mark out the angle that is wanted, which is here. This is angle DXS. And to find this angle here, we could use the property of vertically opposite angle to find this angle here. And this is a perpendicular point, so it will be 90 degree. And so this is 90 degree, and this is 90 degree. We can actually find this angle first. We can use the property of angle on the straight line to find this angle. Angle PAX is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree minus 50 degree, which is equal to 40 degree. So if this is 40 degree, then we can see how to find this angle here, because this will be angle sum of triangle. So angle AXP is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree minus 40 degree, which is equals to 50 degree. So since this is 50 degree, we can now deduce that this is also 50 degree. So angle DXS is equal to 50 degree. Now let's try to find angle QRW. So to find angle QRW, we have to mark out the angle first, which is here. So in order to find this angle, we have to look at all the other angles. For example, since this is a pair of parallel lines, if we can find this angle here and use interior angle, which means this angle plus this angle is 180 degree to find what is angle QRW. So how are we going to find this angle here? To find this angle here, we have to think about how to find this angle here. And since this is already given 135 degree, we can actually find this angle here so that we can find angle QDA. This angle is another interior angle. Because of the pair of parallel line, therefore angle XDW is equal to 180 degree minus 50 degree, and it will be 130 degree. So if this is 130 degree, we can see that this is angle at the point, which makes 360 degree. So angle QDW DA is equal to 360 degree minus 130 degree minus 135 degree, which is equal to 95 degree. So this is 95 degree now. So if we have found 95 degree and we have 40 degree here, we can find this angle here because this is angle sum of triangle. So it will be angle PQD, which is here, is equal to 180 degree minus 95 degree minus 40 degree, which is equal to 45 degree. Since we have found this angle here, which is 45 degree, we can now find angle QRW. So angle QRW is equals to 180 degree minus 60 degree minus 45 degree, and it will be 75 degree at here. Let's sum up what we have learned. We learned about trapezium and how we can use trapezium and make use of the property of interior angles. Like here and here. We also learned angles, sum of triangle, where we can use the angle here and use 180 to minus. We also learn about angles at a point, where we can find missing angles by using 360 degree to minus what we have. We also learn about angles on a straight line, where we use 180 degree to minus 90 and 50 to get this angle here. Of course, we use right angle to find our angle here. And finally, we use vertically opposite angle, where this angle here is the same as this angle here since they are opposite of each other.
Question 15. At a travel fair, there were 125 more women than men. When 40% of the women and 3/4 of the men left the fair, there were 243 more women than men remaining at the fair. How many men were there at the travel fair at first? So to do this question, we will want to come up with a unit table so that we can understand the information better. So 40% is equal to 40 over 100, which is equals to 2 out of 5. So the first thing we can do is to write women and men. So at first there were 5 groups of women, 40% left, which means 2 groups of women left, and they are left with 3 groups of women. And 3/4 of the men left the fair. So at first there were 4 groups of men and We minus 3 group of men, and now it's only 1 group of men left. Notice that at first there were 125 more women than men. So if we draw a model here, it will be 125 longer than men. So since this is equal to this, we can try to separate the groups here and the value here so that we can make these two yellow boxes the same, and the LCM of 5 and 4 is 20. So I'm going to multiply all this by 4, and I will multiply all this by 5. So this will be actually 20 unit here, and this is also 20 unit. So at here we can see that this is 20 unit minus 15 unit, which is equals to 5 unit. And at here, this is also 20 unit. And this means it is a plus 125. This will be minus 8 unit. And let's find out what is 2/5 of 125. So 2/5 multiplied by 125 is equal to 50. So this will be minus 50. So 20 unit minus 8 unit is actually 12 unit. And 125 minus 50 is actually plus 75. So notice that there's another clue here which shows the comparison between the women and the men in the end. So here, the number of women is 243 more than the number of men. Since this box represents 5 unit, therefore this box also represents 5 unit. Therefore 12 unit plus 75 is exactly the same as 5 unit plus 243. This is the unit equation that we have created because 12 unit plus 75 is equivalent to 5 unit plus 243. So let's minus the 5 unit here so that all the units are on the left side. And let's minus 75 here so that all the numbers will be on the right side. So now 7 unit is equal to 243 minus 75, which is equal to 168. Therefore, 1 unit is equal to 168 divided by 7, and it is 24. This is the most important part of the solution because once we have found our 1 unit, we can actually find many things in the question. So, how many men were there at first? So the number of men is actually 20 unit. So 20 unit is equal to 20 multiply by 24, and it is 480. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned about more than or less than. We learned how to change percent to unit. We learned how to draw a unit table with model inside so that we can understand it better. We learned that in this question, both the women and the men had all changed in numbers. We learned how to multiply fraction. We learned how to manipulate the units by making 5 and 4 the same because both represent the rectangle here. And finally, we create units equation so that we can find one unit. Question 16. Tricia collects stamps as a hobby. 1/7 of the stamps are from Australia. 1/4 of the stamps are from China. And the rest are from Singapore and Malaysia. She has an equal number of pens from Singapore and Malaysia. If Tricia has 799 Malaysian stamps, how many stamps are from Australia? Aunt May gave Tricia some Australian stamps. As a result, 7 out of 19 of Tricia's stamps are from Australia. How many stamps did Aunt May give Tricia? So you can see that this question is pretty long. So to help you understand the question, it's good to create a unit table so that you can understand it quickly. So here we have Australian stamp, and it is one portion, whereas the total is actually 7. So as for the China stamp, one portion refers to the China stamps and the total portion is 4. Notice that 7 and 4 refers to the same total, so we can use LCM to make them the same. The LCM of 7 and 4 is actually 28. So we can actually multiply this by 4 and this by 4. We can multiply this by 7 and this is by 7. So the number of Singaporean and Malaysian stamps are the same. So let's create a Singapore and Malaysian stamp, and it will be 1:1. The next clue we have is that she has 799 Malaysian stamp. That means this is equals to 799. And since both are equal, this is also 799. Let's try to calculate the units first. So this will be 4 unit, and this will be 7 unit, and the total is actually 28 unit. So our job is to find out what is exactly 7 499 in terms of unit. So 28 unit, which is the total, minus 4 unit minus 7 unit is equal to 17 unit. So we can see that here is exactly 17 unit. And therefore 17 unit is actually equals to 799 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 1598. Therefore, 1 unit is equals to 1598 divided by 17, and we will get 94. So 1 unit is equals to 94. To find the number of Australian stamp, it will be actually 4 unit. So 4 unit is equal to 4 times 94, and it will be 376 for part A. To do part B, we can see that there is a change in the number of Australian stamps, but no change to the rest of the stamps. So what it means is, for the Australian stamp, we have a at question mark, but the rest of the stamps here did not change. And this is actually 7 unit, and this is 17 unit. So in the end, 7 refers to the Australian, so we'll write a 7 here, and 19 refers to the total. So 19 minus 7 is actually 12. So this part here is actually 12. So why don't we call this part and part? So 24 unit is actually equals to 24 times 94, which is equal to 2256. So this is exactly, from here to here is actually 2256. And 2256 is also equals to 12 part, because there is nothing that happened to the China or the Singapore or the Malaysian stamp. So if 12 part is equal to 2256, then 1 part is equal to 2256 divided by 12, and it will be 188. In order to find the number of stamps that Auntie May has given to Tricia, we need to find out what is 7 part. So 7 part is equal to 7 times 188, which is equal to 1316. So if this is 1316 and this is equal to 376, we can see now that if we use 1316 minus 376 is exactly the amount, the number of stamps that Auntie May gave to Tricia. So 1316 minus 376 is equal to 940. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned that in these questions, we use a unit table to help us to understand it better. We also see that the total here refers to the same total, and we use the LCM to make them the same. We also can see that there is equal number of stamps, so this is equal stage. We use unchanged quantity where these 3 types of stamp did not change in number, while this has changed. Finally, for this question, we use unit and part, and we use substitution to be able to find out that 24 unit is actually equals to 12 part. So that we can find 1 unit. Question 17. On Monday, the average number of books donated by each pupils during a donation drive was 23. On Tuesday, 30 pupils donated an average of 14 books each. In the end, the average number of books donated by each pupils on both days was 20. How many books were donated on Monday? So to help us understand the question, let's try to come up with a table. Okay, so let's try to use Monday and Tuesday and total. So on Monday, the number of pupils were not given. So let's call it 1 unit. The average number of books is given, which is 23. So average will be 23. 30 pupils donated an average of 14 books. So we have a 30 here and we have a 14 books here. So we can see that the total of pupils will be 1U plus 30. And let's look at the total books donated. This will be 1U times 23, which is 23U. 30 multiplied by 14 is 420. And here, the average is 20, so I'll just write here as 20, and therefore the total number of books will be 20 multiplied by 1 unit plus 30. So we can see that the total books on Monday and Tuesday is equal to the total books here. So let's create a unit equation now. So 23 unit plus 420 is equal to 20 multiplied by 1 unit plus 30. So this is actually 23 unit plus 420, and this becomes 20 unit because 20 times 1 unit is 20, and 20 times 30 is actually equals to 600. Let's shift the units to the left side. So here we have minus 20 unit, and therefore here we will minus 20 unit. Here we have to get rid of the numbers, so it will be a minus 420, and therefore here we also have a minus 420. So now this will become 3 unit, which is equal to 600 minus 420. So 3 unit is equal to 180, and 1 unit is equal to 180 divided by 3, which is equals to 60. Once we have found our 1 unit, which is 60, it's easy to find our solution. So how many books were donated on Monday? It's actually the number of pupils, which is 1 unit, multiplied by the average 23, which is 23 unit. So 23 unit is equal to 23 times 60, which is equal to 1380. Let's recap what we have learned. We learned that there are 2 averages. We also learned to create unit equation to solve our question. Finally, we learned that if we draw a table, it's easier to understand the question. So unit table is here. So now let's go to iSchool.sg and see how we can help you to improve in your examination score. We believe that to do better, you need to practice. So we have created a section called Assessment for you. And under Assessment, choose Exam. And here for Primary 6, we have all the exam for you to practice. We have Mock SA1, Mock SA2. We also have Mock PSLE 1 to 5 and PSLE Foundation 1 to 3. So for PSLE 1 to 5, we have used real PSLE papers and we have changed the numbers and the variable and the question order so that you can have an authentic PSLE exam experience. To start the paper, just click on Start and you can actually click Start, and please take note that you cannot leave the paper halfway or you'll get a 0. And there are about 6 reports for you to look at to see your weakness in topics and concept. The exam is timed for you, so if you exceed 50 minutes, the system will have an auto shutdown and auto calculate your score for you so that you will not be allowed to do with extra time. So if we click Start, there is a countdown timer for you and you are supposed to enter all your answers. And once you're done, you can actually click Submit. So let me just do one to show you. So then after that, if you want, you can have a break. If not, you can continue with paper 2. Let me click Cancel and click Exam. So right now, I scored 1 out of 40 because I did not do the full paper. There is no reattempt for any exam paper. So it means that if you do it halfway and you lost your Wi-Fi, there is nothing that we can do to help you to redo this paper. So this is the second paper. If you start, it will actually generate the question for you to do for paper 2. And once you finish, you can click on Submit. We advise you to finish only when time is up. So now you can look at the report. We have a few reports for you. You can see which report you're weak at. So target those topics that you're weakest at and also those topics that has a lot of marks in them. We also can analyze your concept mastery, where you can choose the topic and check within that topic what concept are you weak at. So we have another 3 report here, report on question by topic, by concept, and by marks allocation. So you'll be able to tell whether you lose marks on those big mark questions or those small marks questions. If you look at the exam again, you'll be able to see your progress. When you do more exams, they will actually track and stack it so that you can see whether your score has improved over time. From now on, we will start to do all our PSLE 1 to 5 mock papers so that you can see the solution explanation as well. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me for this past 17 questions. This is Teacher Julie signing off, and remember, you are unstoppable. Take care and bye.